want these women, and they want these women to give them access to all it is that they want, without being able to do the bare minimum of being a man in that relationship, of being a protector and provider. So they're going to Ace and they're complaining, oh, the women don't want me, they just want money. Well, listen, baby, your penis produces children. Of course, there has to be some money to take care of those kids. Listen, all right. So here we go. We already talked about this before, how Black women are on par to escape poverty, on par at the same rate as white women who are born into poverty, until these Black women get with Black men, who then saddle them with children, or saddle them with his brokenness or his debt or his inability to be able to provide. And then he drags her back down out of the ascension that she was going, back down into the depths of the gutter and poverty in this relationship. So listen, you guys remember from the 60s that movie Claudine, Claudette? A lot of men like to bring up this movie. I feel myself about this. All right, let me calm down. All right. You guys remember that movie, Claudette, Claudine? I don't remember what it was. It was with James Earl Jones. And just to kind of lighten the mood a little, I remember when I watched that movie, I rented it from the library and I was waiting to see James Earl Jones. I was like 3/4 of the way through the movie and I'm like, where's James Earl Jones? I didn't even realize that he was young in that movie and that was a young James Earl Jones. I was stunned. But nonetheless, when we talk about that movie, a lot of men like to bring up the fact that a woman couldn't get public assistance if she had a man in the house. An able-bodied, able to work man in the house? I need you to help me make 2 and 2, make 4. I need you to help me put this all together. Because from what it was that I remembered in that movie, this man, it's like they want to be able to come to your home, play all around inside your womb, sitting up there, taking up electricity, using up the gas to feed you, using up the cable, the sofa, taking up space inside of a rented domicile, and bring nothing to contribute to that household. I'm about to use some profanity. You damn right. You damn right if there's an able-bodied man sitting up there on his ass not doing anything. You damn right the government has reason to be like, well, what's going on here? What's happening here that you got this man sitting around here and you don't have money to be able to take care of these children? I remember he had money to rent a Cadillac and do all that other stuff, but he didn't have money to contribute to her and her children, but he had the time and money to be up there swimming around inside of this woman without contributing. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. In the Black community, we talking about I want to be more than just a provider. In the Black community, our children are poor. They're poor. They're going to the worst schools, living in the worst neighborhoods. Mind you, neighborhoods made unlivable by Black men. And the wreaking of havoc and violence in those communities, right? But instead of getting up and taking your happy ass to go and make a video talking about instructing or leading these men not to make these neighborhoods so unsafe, instead you're making a video because the targeted audience for this may have been women or whatnot, right? But let me put my pen down, who this video is really going to go out to are women who are already disenfranchised, marginalized, who are already not doing so well in the community, who have men coming up there talking about, love me for more than what it is that I can bring financially. Let's just start with that. Let's just start with helping our children be safe, getting our children out of the ghetto, cleaning up the neighborhoods of the violence of Black males. Let's start with being a protector and a provider first, because I will tell you this, right? There is a war going on out there. This man coming up there talking about, don't cry. You don't show your feelings. I got beat. I got reprimanded for having feelings. Yeah. You think it's a joke? You think I joke out there? Whew. You think it's a joke? You think that I had the luxury of standing up there crying as a child? What is some of you black men are not raised in households with black women? Were you not there? I was there. I have a brother. No, he couldn't cry, but guess what, doggone it, neither could I. You know why? Because the lives that we live in this country is not conducive. Listen to what I'm saying. It's not conducive. It's not conducive for black people, male or female, not to be in control of their emotions. There's a war going on out here. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. You didn't have the luxury. Well, neither did we. And if you want to start talking about numbers, let's bring the board back out and talk about some numbers. You want to talk about some numbers. 1 in 6 in the rest of society in the United States, 1 in 6 women will be sexually assaulted in her lifetime. You want to know what it is in the black community? Here we go. 4 out of 10. 40%. This is 40% right here. 40% will be sexually assaulted. 80% of those before the age of 18. You want to talk about having all of these burdens that come upon you, that now you have to go onto the woman for her to come and heal you. There's so much brokenness that exists in black American women that we are riddled with disease, fibroids, endometriosis, cystic ovaries, polycystic ovarian syndrome, thyroid issues, which John Gray's wife has some of herself. We're talking about our bodies holding in all of this pain and torment from childhood, only to grow up for some man to come who hasn't done his work to try to lay his burdens down on you too and then riddle you, God. Listen to what I'm saying. Fill you, listen, with his issues. Having your body riddled with disease and then dropping off 2 or 3 babies to leave you there to raise on your own, like you didn't have enough issues on your own. Now you gotta give birth to the babies and grown men. Come on, listen to what it is that I'm saying. It's like, when do we get the opportunity to heal? It's like it's an onslaught, constant and never ending. And then you have the nerve to get up here and talk about you don't want to be just a provider. Let's start with that. What is the plan? What is the plan for fixing our communities and getting our children out of harm's way? Because listen, if they don't get killed in the ghetto, listen, our children are not safe. It's like each and every day, people ask black women to lay down, open up her body, open up her womb, and push out children into an environment where there's no guarantee from the participation of black men that those children will even be safe. Not only will they not be safe, 4 in 10 girls in the black community will be sexually assaulted by a black man before the age of 18. Every 21 hours, a black woman is killed by a black man. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. There are problems in our community. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. There are problems in our communities. And the fall always lands onto the shoulders of the woman. What's wrong with you? Why don't you want to take care of me? And then the women who have done the work themselves, who've done the work on themselves, then they get men coming, talking to people like Ace Metaphor. They don't want me. They don't want me for more than what it is that I can provide. Listen, honey,